I need somebody who does not know how to play the piano. Oh, come on, I can see you out there. Do you know how to play the piano? Thanks. Okay, your name is?
Denise.
Denise. Okay, I want you to repeat after me, Denise. I'm a good piano player. I'm a great piano player. I am outstanding.
I am outstanding.
Pound the table, Denise. I am outstanding. I believe it.
I believe it.
Do you really believe it? No. I'll tell you what, Denise. I can teach you to play the piano. Now, nothing complex, but like, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, or Row, Row Your Boat. Now, I can teach you that. Now, do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay, great. And at break, if you want to learn, I'll teach you one of those songs.
Okay.
Now, 2 situations. First time, she did not believe me. The second time, she did. What was the difference? The first situation, I was denying reality. You're great, I'm great, you believe, I believe, go team, yeah, all right, sell, yeah. All the while, in the back of her mind, Denise is saying, this guy, Connellan, whew, nobody home. I can teach you how to play the piano. Well, I'd kind of like to learn. I can show you how this new software is going to work. Oh, last time we had, I will show you. You can do it with clients, you can do it with members of your firm. Positive expectations, believing in them, does not mean denying reality. It means acknowledging reality. It means embracing reality. Sometimes with a brutal assessment of the facts, which we sometimes are uncomfortable doing and our clients are sometimes uncomfortable doing, but must be done. It is not denying reality, it is acknowledging reality, and that it is saying we're going to create a new reality. Things are tight in this part of the practice, we're going to turn them around, we're going to make them stronger. Yeah, but the economy, I know the economy, but it is not denying reality, it is embracing and acknowledging reality, and then it is creating a new reality. We are going to get from here to here. Oh yeah? How are we going to do it? I don't know. Yet. Very powerful word, yet. How are we going to get there? I don't know yet. What actions? We don't know yet, but we are going to figure out because we have right here in this firm, in this room, we have the skills, we have the ability, we have the experience, we have the client base, and we will get from here to there. Now let's sit down and figure out how we are going to do it. We have to learn to see others not as they are, but as they can be. And we have to separate the person from their behavior. They may have failed. Say, yeah, you blew it. Absolutely. I mean, there's no question you blew that. But I know that you are better than that. I know you have the skill and the ability to do better than that. So you're separating the person from the behavior. Yeah, it was a mistake. Absolutely. You don't have to sugarcoat it. You say, yeah, you made a mistake, you blew it. Behavior. But you have the ability, the skills, and the experience to be great. Now let's figure out how we're going to turn this around, because I know that you can turn it around. The headline under Hold Them Accountable is lack of accountability paves the way to mediocrity. I give an award every year. It is the Christopher Columbus Annual Better Leadership Award. It is given in honor of Christopher Columbus, who started out not knowing where he was going. Upon arriving, he did not know where he was, and upon returning, he could not describe where he had been. I think it's only fair to note that it was a federally funded project. Somehow seems appropriate. Perfect example would be a sales rep goes running in. Chief, I made 14 sales calls today. 14, that's really good. Well, I would have made more, but somebody slowed me down. They kept asking me what I was selling. And the rep is so caught up in the activity, he's lost all sight of why that activity is going on. Let me ask you to put your hands out in front of you like this. Okay? Look down and note which thumb is on top. Okay? How many have the right thumb on top? How many have the left thumb on top? Okay? How many have both thumbs equally on top? Okay, so there are no clinical situations in here. All right, take your hands apart, put them back together, this time with the other thumb on top. How does that feel? weird, awkward, uncomfortable, or difficult. You can have weird, awkward, uncomfortable, or difficult without having the kind of change necessary to compete in today's environment. But you cannot have the change necessary to compete in today's environment without, at times, feeling weird, awkward, uncomfortable, difficult. So you have two tasks. One is to normalize that feeling for yourself. And the second is to normalize that feeling for everybody in the firm. In fact, I would suggest that that might be a good exercise for you to do when you're meeting with others in the firm, with partners, however you're structured. And say, I've got some suggestions, I've got some ideas, let me ask you to do this, and you go through the clasping your hands, and then say, I know that some of these things are going to feel uncomfortable. I know that some of these changes are going to be feeling awkward or difficult. I want you to know that that is a normal, natural, to-be-expected feeling. And I will tell you that. It's a normal, natural, to-be-expected feeling. And I would seriously worry about your state of mental health if you didn't feel that when you're making some of these changes. I'm talking to Neil. I say, here's a great idea. Neil says, I don't think it's going to work. What do I ask him? Why not? Sure. I say, well, why not? He tells me why not. What happens? Well, I get a little irritated. It's my idea. He says, well, yeah, but da-da-da-da. I said, but Neil, and it escalates. If you ask the question why in those circumstances, and he says why it's not going to work, all he is doing is answering your question. That's all he's doing. Would you agree with this statement? We only get answers to the questions we ask. Yeah. What question did I ask Neil? Why not? He told me why not. And I'm getting irritated. It's nuts. What I would like to suggest you do, because all you're doing, if you say why, is you're increasing the stress. You're increasing the pressure. But if I say, here's a great idea, Neil says, Tom, I'm not sure we can implement that. And I say, well, what can we do that would make it work? Well, he says, George, next question. How could we get George committed? Well, we could do this, but I'm not sure he'd be able to do that. Well, what can we do to get him to do that? I'm like a windshield wiper. What can we do? How can we get there? What can we do? How can we get there? And now I am looking at options going forward. Instead of focusing on why this won't work over here, I am now, with Neil, looking on how we can move things forward. I was out at the Olympic Training Center. We've done several programs out there with client organizations. And there's something they call Eye on Performance. It's a video system that has like 6 cameras. And I was watching a gymnast, one of these cross the mat things, diagonal, and then he stopped and look up. And I was back in the door. And then he goes, and I thought, oh. I said, excuse me, are you using Ion? They just call it Ion. Are you using Ion? Yeah, I'm using Ion. I said, how do you like it? He said, I can tell after every routine exactly how I'm doing. Wouldn't it be great if everybody in your firm could give themselves their own performance review at the end of every day? Because they had a real clear set of guidelines about what they were supposed to do, focused on results, and then the intermittent feedback comes in from you to help support that.